I'm sorry, guys. It's not good. Hi, Joel. Okay, what sound do you want? Cow? Cow goes moo.
Farmer Bill plays building blocks with the cows. Farmer Bill rides the cows to the store for milk. Farmer Bill plays hide and seek with the cows.
I used to have a toy just like this when I was a kid.
In the winter, Farmer Bill plays hockey on the pond with the ducks. Farmer Bill always wins, but the ducks perform mightily.
Oh, like the Mighty Ducks.
The horses invented a new scripting language called Equiscript.
Alright.
Farmer Bill plays chess with the horse. The horse always wins. Checkmate! The pigs wash the dishes after supper. Farmer Bill separates the sheeps from the goats. Sheep go to heaven. Goats go to town.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not good. I'm sorry, guys. It's not good.
Size matters. If I know how big it is, I can face it. I can size it up.
And it's quite small at this point, but unfortunately the size isn't terribly important. Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy.
If I go back into the dad, will it say the same thing?
I'll nod my head.
With an ATR
Yeah, whenever I ask sciencey questions, I nod my head,
It is fatal.
digesting every Latin word,
It's only a matter
hoping
of
it
time
will stick to
before
my
it's exposed
ribs,
several locations.
become part of me.
We've already thrown all
That if
the
I ask
chemotherapy
enough
we
questions,
have.
that maybe I can get my
We can't
brains
continue
around this
giving
cancer,
chemotherapy that we know it's resistant
and I
to.
can choke it to death. I love asking good questions. It impresses them. They'll be impressed with the way we handle all of this. Such good, thoughtful parents that ask such good questions.
So there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're
This is
very
not
good
what I
at
wanted.
end-of-life care. We're very good at managing the pain and masking symptoms at the end of life.
Oh, miracles are
How
scary.
long are we talking about?
A few weeks to maybe 4 months.
Science, it's simpler.
Only a lot to think about already
Measurable.
today, but we're
I
going to
give
have to
A,
come back Monday and we
B,
can
and
talk about how
I
you
subtract C, and I get this result, and I can do something to control it. Or at least have the sense that I'm controlling it. But now all we have left is a miracle. And miracles are
We'll do a lumbar puncture
fickle.
and then talk to our radiation oncologist.
They don't
to decide
always
whether
come,
to use
and
radiation or just
we don't always know why. What if Joel's miracle doesn't come?
Well, the radiation could probably kill the tumor
I
that's
hope he
now,
lives.
which would prevent it from
I've
causing
always
any
hoped.
symptoms. But it would not
But
use
now I
radiation
can't do
itself.
anything but
Because we know
hope.
it's spread
Oh,
here,
radiation.
it's spread other
At least we can do something.
So,
Hope doesn't require signing papers or driving to hospitals or holding Joel in my lap. Hope is for something someone else has to do for us. And we doctors can't. Well, invisible Jesus must.
We're so sorry.
let's turn back time. Go with
I'm
the
sorry,
woman here.
guys. It's not good.
See what her thoughts are.
And there it is. They get it now.
The MRI?
They've always been.
Sometimes I wish we could just leave them waiting a
Joel
few
has had
more
a
minutes,
recurrence of his tumor.
because once they get this news,
Where
their
is it?
life never goes back to how it was before.
Well, it's in the frontal
Those were
cortex,
their last
and it's
normal
quite small
minutes,
at this point, but
and they
unfortunately the
didn't even
size
know
isn't
it.
terribly important.
I'm glad he's so good at this. He takes the losses so personally. Joel's looking good. He's been making progress, his weight is up. It's just hard to believe that we only made it halfway through chemotherapy. It was rough at first, but I really started to think that he was gonna make it.
Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy. With an ATRT, as soon as you have a recurrence of any kind, it is fatal. It's only a matter of time before it spreads to several locations. We've already thrown all the chemotherapy we have at it. We can't continue to give him chemotherapy that we know it's resistant to, so there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're very good at end-of-life care. We're very good at managing the pain and masking symptoms at the end of life.
I like the version of this toy where it was farm animals instead. I want to hear more about Farmer Bill.
Is Nick crying?
How long are we talking about?
How am I gonna hold it together now?
A few weeks to maybe 4 months.
I cannot cry. They shouldn't feel like they have to comfort me.
Back Monday and we can talk about palliative treatment.
Palliative?
Palliative is medicine you give at the end of life to improve the quality of life. Its goal is to treat the symptoms, but it can't cure Joel.
We'll do a lumbar puncture and talk to our radiation oncologist to decide whether we could do some radiation or just chemotherapy.
What would the radiation do?
Well, the radiation could probably kill the tumor we see now, which would prevent it from causing any symptoms, but it would not keep more tumors from developing, because we know if it spread here, it has spread other places too.
So, the radiation would buy us some time.
No, nothing will really buy us any time at this point. It just can make the time you have left more comfortable. So, we'll schedule you to come back in Monday, and we'll have some options for you to consider. We're so sorry.
And I knew this was like not gonna be a particularly happy game, but man, this is upsetting.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not good.
Oh, wow. This is
MRI?
that conversation. Can't imagine we're having that
Joel has had a
conversation.
recurrence of his tumor.
Where is it? How big is it?
Well, it's in the frontal cortex, and it's quite small at this point, but unfortunately the size isn't terribly important. Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy.
It is.
I guess I have imagined it.
With an ATRT,
I've
as soon as
imagined
you
it
have
a
recurrence of
lot,
any
but
kind,
not like this.
it is fatal.
It's different.
It's only
I
a
thought
matter
I
of
would
time
sob
before it spreads to
uncontrollably
several locations.
or puke just right on the floor.
We've already thrown all the
I thought
chemotherapy
I'd shake
we
or
have.
wail or something.
We can't continue to give him chemotherapy
guess
that
this
we know
is
it's resistant
shock.
to.
Tragedy, he said. That's right. That's the perfect word for this. It's a tragedy. I wonder if he says that every time. He's crying a little. I love him for that. He's not callous, he's genuinely sad. She is too.
So there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
guess I'm going to cry after all because they love us. And they love Joel, and
We're very good at managing the pain and masking symptoms at the end of life.
how long are we talking about?
A few weeks to maybe 4 months.
Time at all.
Four months. What is that? February? So we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Joel's birthday, maybe Valentine's Day, and that's it? Oh, we still haven't told anyone I'm pregnant. Too scared they'd think it was irresponsible. And now this? They'll think it's a replacement baby. I don't want a replacement.
Radiation could probably kill the tumor we see now, which would prevent it from causing any symptoms, but it would not keep more tumors from developing, because we know if it spread here, it would spread other places too.
So, the radiation would buy us some time.
No, nothing will really buy us any time at this point. It just can make the time you have left more comfortable. So, we'll schedule you to come back in Monday, and we'll have some options for you to consider. We're so sorry.
Alright, get me out of here. Gotta go through the doctor too.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not good. Parents always ask how big. Wrong question.
Always been clear.
They should ask where it is. Location is everything. Slow death or quick, symptoms and losses all come down to where. Well, it's in the frontal cortex. And it's quite small at this point, but unfortunately the size isn't terribly important. Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy. With an ATRT, as soon as you have a recurrence of any kind, it is fatal. It's only a matter of time before it spreads to several locations. We've already thrown all the chemotherapy we have at it. We can't continue to give him chemotherapy that we know it's resistant to, so there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're very good at end-of-life care. We're very good at managing the pain and masking symptoms at the end of life.
How long are we talking about?
Prediction time again. No matter what I say, they'll wish it was longer. But sometimes longer is worse. A few weeks to maybe 4 months. Okay, I said fatal. I said not curative. Have I said the word death yet? I can tell they understand, though. A whole new vocabulary. All the rules are different now. I think it's really sinking in. Oh, she's crying. We should wrap this up soon. All the details can wait. Radiation oncologist to decide whether we could do some radiation or just chemotherapy.
What would the radiation do?
Well, the radiation could probably kill the tumor we see now, which would prevent it from causing any symptoms, but it would not keep more tumors from developing, because we know if it spread here, it has spread other places too.
So, the radiation would buy us some time.
No, nothing will really buy us any time at this point. It just can make the time you have left more comfortable. So, we'll schedule you to come back in Monday, and we'll have some options for you to consider. We're so sorry.
Okay, I'm not sure if there's like another layer to each one of these, but if not, I want to do it from Dad's perspective.
In the movie, I'd be kicking things and throwing chairs through windows. Amy would be sobbing. back against the wall, slowly falling. I should be yelling. Why am I not yelling?
Thank you. That means a lot.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, guys. It's not good.
The MRI?
They've always been clear! Joel has had a recurrence of his tumor. Well, where is it? How big is it? Well, it's in the frontal cortex, and it's quite small at this point. But unfortunately, the society started to report. Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy. With an ATRT, as soon as you have a recurrence of any kind, it is fatal. It is only a matter of time before it spreads to several locations. We have already thrown all the chemotherapy we have at it. We can't continue to give him chemotherapy that we know it's resistant to. So there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're very good at managing of life here. We're very good at managing.
It's all shouting out their dialogue now.
At the end of life.
How long are we talking about?
I can't see anything. Only the rain. Probably how they felt. It's a really pretty game, but like the material's hard. I think it's meant to be. We're sad enough just listening to them tell their story. I can't imagine living it.
I have so many things stirring around in my spirit that I have to write to settle myself and find God's wisdom in the midst of chaos. I'm scared I won't be strong enough to face the things we might have to face in the coming weeks and months. But then I remember how much grace God gave us to walk out everything we've already faced. I've never felt completely overwhelmed, and I've never felt alone. So no matter what comes next, and I truly cannot even begin to guess how this will go, I know we will be cared. I want to shout out, look what God is about to do. Watch how he delivers Joel. And at the same time, I want to roll up in a silent ball and wait it out with fear and trembling, so aware of all my doubt, but yet convinced that my doubt is insignificant compared to God's faithfulness.
Heard this voice before? I mean, I think that's the mom's voice. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the mom's actual voice.
Guys, are you ready for bed?
Joel, lay down. Okay. Should we do a song?
Sure.
Okay, big boys, why don't you come in here and we'll sing the littles a lullaby.
I'm tired.
I know, it's bedtime. Ugh, okay. Oh, Elijah, lay down.
Babe, did you even check in the his mouth?
Sorry about that.
No.
Joel has chicken stuffed in his cheeks from dinner.
How that is so disgusting.
Been in there for the last 2 hours. Okay, hold on, I'm trying.
He's like, it's
Joel, ouch!
We've been through so much already. This is a new degree of tragedy, but it's not so much different from the struggle we've already been living. We pressed into God. We pressed into faith. We fought until we found peace. We stood in peace when our flesh wanted to strive more. We stood in peace when it started to feel like laziness or foolishness or both. We waited for God to direct us specifically in prayer because all the directions we had initiated had not panned out. We prayed for no nausea because that's what we felt in our spirits we were supposed to pray, even though we'd prayed it countless times before while Joel continued to vomit. We saw one small miracle and then another. We waited to pray specific things until we were given specific direction, and we saw bigger miracles. And yet, if you asked either of us if we were doing enough, trying hard enough, we would say no.
She actually is Joel's mother, yeah. Oh, there's another letter in there.
Dear Eli, I feel nothing but pride for the way you battled cancer. I remember the way you learned to ride your tricycle down the hospital hallway instead of down the sidewalk like other 3-year-olds. It was hard for me to pray to God, "Thy will be done," when I really just wanted so desperately for Him to heal you. In the 4.5 years that you dealt with harsh treatments, only once did you ask why God let you get cancer. I hope He has been able to explain the why to you, as I have always believed that He knew how strong you were and wanted to use you and your situation to positively impact so many lives. I remember how you never let me go to bed without telling me that you loved me and how those were your very last words to me. You taught me what was truly important in life, son. Still now, years after you left Earth, people are impacted by your life and the lessons you taught us. Thousands of people from around the world read your blog and still feel such a strong connection to you, even though they never met you in person. You would be happy to know that we continue to sell the Beat Cancer t-shirts that you love so much. We're still using them to raise awareness and funds for childhood cancer research and family and patient support programs. When you passed away, my greatest fear was that you would be forgotten. So many people still talk about you and how you changed their lives. That is such a precious gift to me as your father. Eli, you truly impacted more lives in your almost 8 years on Earth than many people do in a lifetime. I love you, buddy, and I can't wait to see you again. Love, Dad.
There's a lot of these letters. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through all of them.
I had been in this room with my father before, during the brief window where he wasn't dying but was instead getting better. That wasn't the man I saw this time. I saw the other one, the one who cried out and needed holding, the one who fell asleep for 20 seconds and then woke up a different person each time. There was a clear part right in the middle of it, a minute or so, where everything was calm before his tour of hell resumed. That was goodbye, even if no one said it. I don't think I will ever get better after having seen that. I think this is the kind of knowing that stays with you. I can reach into my pocket now and find it there.
As this long day draws to a close, I am tired, but not sleepy. My face is puffy from crying. I have a dry throat and dry hands, a slight headache, and a desire to write down absolutely everything. I want to describe the feeling of being entirely empty and entirely resolute. I want to explore how I can be deeply sad and incredibly hopeful at the same time. I want to talk about holding Joel's hand. Walking down the hall, wanting to soak in the moment, to memorize the feeling of having his hand and mine, to let it matter. And then hating that my thoughts swing to, because what if I can't hold his hand one day? And hating that thought, wishing I could just appreciate each second of Joel without that appreciation spilling into the pre-morning I refuse to do because I believe he will live. But instead of fighting the brief thoughts of mourning, choosing to fight instead that lie that says that those thoughts betray some doubt, some mistrust of God, when I know that those thoughts make me human. That God knows I am human. He doesn't make Joel's victory dependent on me never feeling unsure.
The ravenous reverie of waking is but a distant memory. Or was it a dream? I can't remember the last time I woke up hungry. Not so long ago, carefree, welcoming the challenge of yoga on paddleboards, springing through the rain and over puddles at the reservoir track. Weathering several storms since entering the first battlefield over 2 years ago, a succession of precise scalpels, high-energy beams, and pharmacological strategies, a journey no one asks for. Still standing, spirit unyielding but not the same. With each treatment, an imprint, evidence of what came before, willing rogue mutinous cells to yield to my current tailored chemical onslaught, stay put and do not multiply. Or better yet, disappear altogether. By the will of God, through the tools of modern medicine, with the support of family and friends. Onward.
I am at Seattle Children's Hospital, and nobody wants to be here. Even as an internationally recognized temple of healing, every inch of it is terror. Every cubic inch of every room that is not occupied by terrified children and terrified parents is filled to its capacity with a terror wholly unique to that family, which no other person has any power to comprehend. There is art on the walls and rooms which is designed to evoke a jungle of some kind, and I resent it. Every giraffe is my sworn enemy.
Hello, Jan.
Even though every natural law indicates it, even though popular culture is rife with examples, even though the arc of his condition moved with haste in a particular direction, specifically down. I was very surprised when my father died. I was surprised that he could. It wasn't merely naivete. Those afflicted with his particular cancer number less than 100. It is the sort of cancer that excites a doctor. One of the things that is so exciting about this cancer is that it apparently didn't form the hard masses we use to find the disease. Rather, it converts the meat of your abdomen into a kind of undifferentiated doom. What might happen is that they will attempt to draw your blood and instead draw out the green syrup that was once your guts. Shortly thereafter, they will tell you and your family that the fight is over.
The stream's going alright. I've choked up a couple of times so far in this game. But we're working on it. This is rough. Okay, I've got like a bunch of places I can still go, don't I? Up here. Can go up here.
So, how long will we be in California?
I don't actually know. That's kind of why we're packing up everything, is because if the trial works really well, then maybe we will stay in California for a really long time. Like, as long as it keeps helping Joel, then we want to stay and do the best we can for him and stay there where he's getting help. But if the medicine starts to not work, as soon as it's not helping him, I promise we'll come back home.
Are we going to Disneyland?
Yeah, of course. What do you think, Caleb? You okay with leaving for so long?
I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of not. I mean, I think it'll be fun, but I just don't like missing school.
Oh, yeah?
You're the only 8-year-old to ever... That's amazing.
I hate to miss school, huh? But, like, why?
Well, I just hate having all that homework that I have to do.
Oh, you hate catching up from missing school.
Your teachers are going to send me homework, and we'll just try to do a little bit of it every day, so it won't be that bad, but there'll still be fun stuff we can
How
do.
many kids get to go on an adventure to California in the middle of the school year? I'd say that's pretty cool. And we're going to be staying in the middle of San Francisco, near Golden Gate Park, and there's a museum, and there's a botanic garden, and there's the Golden Gate Bridge, and water, and a prison, and I promise not to leave you in the prison.
Alcatraz.
Hopefully we can get out of that. That'd be cool. Anyway, so we're gonna have lots of fun, and we're gonna spend lots of time as a family together, and lots of time with Joel too. You know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad.
Yes. So
Yeah.
If you-
Yay and sad. It's kind of all of those things, huh?
if you do !charity or !bald, you'll see the donation options. You can either donate. I guess it just showed up right there. You can either donate directly to the campaign by clicking on that link there, or if you subscribe or gift any subs on the channel, at the end of the stream, I'm going to donate $5 for every subscription directly to the charity myself. So 2 ways to do it. However you want to do it is perfectly fine with me. Mike, thank you so much for donating me 5. I appreciate it, my
won't
man.
let myself hold anything back this time. I would rather feel disappointed and let God heal my heart than to feel like I did not push myself as far as I possibly could in faith for my son. It was easier to believe that God would win this battle for Joel when the dragon Joel was facing was blurry, seen from a great distance up on a hill very far away. Now the dragon Joel is facing is close enough for us to begin to see every scale and scar. We can feel his breath. If we were confident before because we weren't quite sure what we were facing, then our confidence was misplaced. When the dragon becomes more real, then our God must become even bigger, even more real to us. Our faith must grow to match our circumstances. We must not, no matter how tempting, try to shrink our circumstances to match our perception of God.
I remember the day I was diagnosed. I remember the hallucinations from the high fever of 5-year-old's nightmares. I remember my mother silently weeping in the doctor's office. I remember friends and family gathered around my hospital bed in prayer. I remember the 2-hour ambulance ride to St. Jude where they could better care for me. I remember the 2.5 years of weekly chemo treatments, the numerous lumbar punctures and bone marrow aspirates. I remember Doctors Bell, Dahl, and Kalwinsky, nurses Jean, Judy, and Dale, Miss Chris in social work, Darlene in travel, all part of the team that cared for me. I am a walking memorial to their successes. I remember the other patients I'd see each time I went to the hospital for chemo. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. I remember the years of summer camp for children with cancer, children like me. I remember their laughter and the midnight talks of fears and joys, normal kid stuff. Some less so. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. But I remember them. I am, and other survivors are, memorials to those who lost their fights.
Dog 002, thank you for the follow. Welcome to that Dragon Cancer. I'm afraid it's not the most